In this 250th episode of the IT Experts podcast, Stuart and I talk about milestones. Welcome to the IT Experts podcast, the only podcast to help MSPs scale to 1 million, and if already there, get to 5 and go faster. At the end of the day, isn't it all about building a business that works for you rather than you for it? I hope you enjoy the show. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the IT Experts podcast. Amazing, 250 episodes of the IT Experts podcast, Stuart. Isn't that crazy?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Can't believe it.
Where did that time go? Work it back. It's a few years worth of podcast, but we love it and you guys love it. And that's why we are back here today talking about milestones, which is quite interesting. So we said to the team, what do we need to do that's going to be nice and special about this episode? And it is a milestone. And we want to make sure that we deliver value on that today. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about milestones and actually some of the key milestones in our journey, in the MSP Growth Hub's journey, over the last 4 years.
5 years in August.
5 years. Thank you very much. Good job. You do the numbers. And some of the things that we've done, which have been really cool. And we're just thoroughly on a bit of a mission here, aren't we? And a bit of a drive to have some fun. And we just seem to be helping a bucket load of people in the meantime. So that's super cool. And to talk about some of the milestones that impacted not only us, but our business. And we love sharing how the Growth Hub's growing. And we want to help you to understand how some of those things can help you in your MSP as well. I think the first thing we need to talk about is not actually on this list.
It's the beginning.
It's the beginning.
I think every story has a beginning, and ours was, I think it was the back end of COVID 2021, and we had a one-to-one. Long story short was we met, we weren't sure, but there was something there, and we've talked our story before about the values of he's got kids, I've got kids, special needs, can't be an idiot. There must be something there.
He must be okay.
Still trying to work that one out with you. We felt there was something there. And I think the key there, though, was that alignment of values, intrinsic liking each other, even though we were very different people. And in hindsight now, you look back on that and think, actually, what that milestone of us meeting has led to us where we are now, and we've been helping dozens and dozens and dozens of MSPs, transforming how they think about their businesses and the results they're getting in their businesses if they're ambitious and they want to scale. Because the raison d'etre for us getting together was how can we help more people, change more lives, have more impact, and by doing so have more fun. And we've certainly hit the fun thing on the head. And certainly the other three as well, because we've impacted dozens of MSPs and more to come. But I think the key takeaway for that, I think for any business, is we talk about vision and values, and that was shared definitely because wrapped up in those 4 statements I just used. But the other really key thing that I know I was looking for at that time was I knew I wanted to find somebody with a different set of skills compared to mine, because more of me would just amplify my style, my approach, and more of you would just send you mad. Probably because
which I was going.
Yeah. And I'm slower, you're faster in what we do, but the value and impact of what we do together is magnified. And I think if you're building a team, it don't have to be shareholders necessarily, but if you're building a team or you're coming together in an acquisition or a potential JV, you've got to have that mix of, well, shared values, shared where are we going, vision piece. Yeah. But I think most importantly behind that, then for it to really work, is do you have complementary but different skill sets that you bring to the table? And if there's more than 2 of you, that's more complicated. But I knew what I was looking for. And what we did some profiling as well, didn't we? Because we were both familiar with that. And it was like, oh, okay, we are different.
It was really interesting because for me, I wasn't going out looking for someone to work with. I was quite happy. Well, I don't know if I was happy. I was probably getting to a point of frustration. I had a peer group. I was running a probably much lighter weight version of the Growth Hub like you were at back then. And I remember you saying, look, do you reckon we could help more people if we get together and stuff? And it was like, I don't know about that. And then once we got talking about it, it was a case of, do you want a slice of £1 million business, or do you want to carry on doing what you're doing with your current business? And that moment, it was like, that's not fighting talk, but that's why there's so many people who have got really good partnerships. And some of the people we see come through the Growth Hub are absolutely incredible in terms of their partnership and how they work. And yes, I acknowledged, I think at that point, to slow down probably would be pretty cool, to just to be a bit more deliberate and not be so flitty and running around. I'm sure people will resonate with that. And likewise for you to speed up. And it was that moment, and I remember it, we were sitting downstairs, weren't we, and had the whiteboard out, and we said, what are we going to do then? And we did the vision, we did the mission, we did what do we want to build, what's it going to be called, and we did that all in a day, didn't we? We put it all together, and I think we still got the photograph of that, which is
and
incredible.
It was time bound. We gave ourselves 6 months to break it or make it.
Yeah.
And that focused us. And we had an action plan, and it was outside of what we were currently doing.
Yeah.
And it set the foundations for, you hear about the phrase fail fast, but it was built on, let's try and make this work fast, but if it has to fail, then so be it, and then we can move on and do other stuff.
And we'll talk about it in a minute, because we've got to talk about how that then moved forward. But then when you jump forward 5 years, we've both got so different roles in the business now, than we had back then. When we went back then, it was like we trusted each other because we're both similar people, where you give the trust and then you erode it through action or whatever. And now we're in so different roles. It's, what are you doing? I'm doing this thing. And it's so funny sometimes, because the clients will say, I was on a really great session with Stuart the other day going through the Transform Your Profits Finance thing. I was going, oh, great, what was it? And they would tell me about it, and I'm going, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds really good.
And like, you haven't got a clue.
I haven't got a clue. It's like, what are you doing? So what was that? But I knew damn well that we've got the framework that we created to begin with, and then you've just put this training around implementing the framework. It's like some of the sales and marketing things that we help all our clients with. Every 2 weeks we bring all the sales and marketing people and the team members on a call to help them implement their sales and marketing. As you don't know what goes on in those sessions, but you do know one thing, and is that it blows their brains out every single fortnight, and that they get some really great results on it. And having that trust to go, oh, should we do this? And now it's interesting, because we're having we have shorter conversations that are even more powerful. We had one this morning about a thought you were having when you're driving in the car, and it was like, that's a really great idea. And that could just blow this thing to pieces in terms of positively pieces in bringing it together. And I think that's the teamwork. So I guess the first kind of milestone is just talking about, if you're in a partnership, which many MSPs are once they get like over 500,000, 750K, it's look at what is it you want that other person to help you with, and trust them to do it. And to
are you on the same page?
Yeah.
And then do you have a plan? Then trust them to get on with it. But that trust also comes back to measurement, because we have our, call it board meetings.
Yeah, I normally win the golf.
You normally win the golf, yes. Yeah, I'm working on that one. That's work in progress.
Now you're feeling better with your knee. I'm probably a bit more worried than I was before.
Watch out. But yeah, we look at the numbers. We have some real headline KPIs. Yeah. And so we are able to calibrate, are we where we said we were going to be, and have we done what we said we were going to do? We use Asana to project manage everything through the team. We've really matured the business over the last few years. We've got SOPs that are written down, that others are now owning and moving forward. But it really starts from that, are we on the same page, and do we want to go in the same direction?
It's really funny, because we started off with, do we want to build this £1 million business, etc., etc. And for me, I love not necessarily the material things, but cars and the material things. Yeah, okay, I love cars, right? I have an unhealthy addiction to cars. Anyway, and you'll think, we want to do this, but what I really love is being able to say, Stuart, I need to invest in some more tech to make the events even better, or some more people to make the marketing more powerful, or this. And it's just like a case of, we can afford to do that. So it's not just like absolutely pulling money out of the business for the sake of it, because we're very frugal, is that the right word, in terms
quite
of
modest, really.
Quite modest in what we do. But I just love the fact that we can just go out and deliver and help more people just by reinvesting back in. And I suppose I never before was in the graphic, never was in the position to be able to be fortunate enough to do that. And now I don't get told off for spending. Not yet. I think I get very close to the red line sometimes. But
you get close.
But it's cool. So the next milestone which was after we got together, was around how dropping the mask a bit, wasn't it? You had your systems.
We decided we'd made it rather than broken it,
and
we were going to stick it all together. And I think this is what you're talking about, is like, how do we stick it together? Yeah.
And then I had my model, which I was very precious about. Stuart had his model that he'd spent much more money and much more time over building and developing, with various other people supporting him. And the intention and the energy was there. And I think the thing that came out of this next part was sticking the business together, was that you'd got a brilliant, the Scale with Confidence system was born for you, but we needed to make it faster. We needed to implement it quicker. We needed to bring it to more people. We needed to maybe cut out some of the Stuart's way of doing it, which was just a bit longer, but not go all the way to Ian's short Instagram reels. I don't even know if they were around at that time. Is the thing, isn't it? But this was when we just said, okay, do you know what? Let's test this model. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a bit more behind that. And one thing we did was we really looked into all of you listening to the podcast and looked at how you were consuming. How do you learn? How do you listen? How do you implement? How do you do all of these things? And a lot of the content that I had was great to complement, but it was never going to be like some of the stuff that you had, which was a lot more deliberate and really good training systems. So we just spent putting together all of that, and we involved the team. We've got a solid team in the UK and in the Philippines now, but during that, we involved them in this as well, didn't we? Bringing this together, and not necessarily from a permission point of view. Does this feel right to you? Is this the right kind of like thing? And that's what we're saying on this side of things. But sharing that with everybody and integrating those systems was a really powerful thing, because then we'd built the business, hadn't we? We'd integrated the business, which was...
We had to keep going back to basics. We had to keep going back to who do we serve? What's the avatar? What do they want? What do they need? What are their problems? And that kept refining, and the more we refined it, the better the marketing was able to become that you were leading. And this is what we're doing right now. And so therefore our ability to nurture and resonate with our target audience so that we could achieve the goal, help more people, change more lives, have more impact and have more fun. So everybody wins. The customers win, the clients win, we win, our team wins, all boats rise. And that integration phase of putting the business together and putting the clients together and putting the marketing together, complemented by what we were saying a moment ago, our different skill sets and styles, just took the whole thing to another level.
And then there was the clients, wasn't there? It was like Rangers and Celtic, wasn't it? Not quite like that. We've got my clients, we've got your clients, and then we've got our clients, the new clients. And we just made the decision. We just said, look, let's just put them all in the same program. They can all get absolutely blown to pieces away, regardless of what they were getting paid what they were paying and everything like that. And it was just like, I suppose this is a good lesson for account management, wasn't it, really? Because we just said, we're not going to go and put everyone's fees up. Let's just leave it as it is, and let's just focus on delivering massive value, not only for existing clients, but for the new clients moving forwards. And yeah, like MSPs, if you looked at our order book and the invoicing on a monthly basis, you'd go, why are they paying that? What's this for? But that's not the plan of the growth. The plan of the growth was to scale moving forward and not back. And they, all of a sudden, they could see, because you were online basically, really, weren't you, before? You didn't have
I took it online before COVID, and then COVID hit, and it was like, oh, this will be easy.
We'll just do that. And then I said, no, bring them all in the office. And I remember the first day we brought your team, your clients, into the office downstairs, and it blew their brains out. And then you said, Ian, we need a bigger office. I went, fantastic. And that was like how that all started, wasn't it? And then they could see the value that they were getting, because they were all on the same journey. And that was super cool. I think the last piece on just integrating the clients and the systems, and I suppose those clients, sometimes we think of them as our team, don't we? Because they want us to win, we want them to win, and there's all of that kind of going on. But if you are, one of the most powerful things we learned recently is that if you are using M&A and buying other MSPs, incoming MSPs, the integration of those vision and values and making sure that company is the same values, or at least similar values, and you're going to help massage and work with those values for those people. When you're joining any teams together, whether you're joining any companies together, that's just so powerful, isn't it? And probably overlooked quite a lot of the time.
Hugely overlooked.
The next one, marketing. I've got to be honest, listeners, you're not an easy bunch to market to. Everything changes all the time. 1 minute you're over here, 1 minute you're over there. It's a little bit like living in Ian's brain half the time. But we've, in the last 18 months, 2 years, we've seen some great success with the marketing. And I think the thing I just want to share about that is that when we talk to people, when they come on a call, the number one thing everybody says, virtually everybody says, is, the reason I'm talking to you today is because you specialise in helping MSPs grow, and we know that we're a little bit different to other business models. And on that note, it amazes me, because I then go, do you have a niche? And no, we don't do that. And then I go, yeah, but you wouldn't be talking to me today if I was like an action coach or a general business. She goes, no, I wouldn't. There's a case in point, isn't it? And we, not only do we have a very structured and mature marketing machine that sits behind the Growth Hub, because we want people to buy from us. We don't want to go out and sell. We can't sell this sort of stuff. It just doesn't. Here's a business coach, go and fix this problem. But we just listen all the time. Every day we're listening to the problems that our clients are having on calls, might be when they're having a coffee at an event or whatever they're doing. And then we turn those into some relevant educational pieces of content that might come out in a podcast. It might come out in a little video. It might come out in a blog or something like that. And we see the MSPs get stuck so much with their marketing, and it's just because they overthink it. They try and take this cookie cutter, which is great, and there's some really, really great content out there that can be curated for you. But you've got to spend the time tweaking it and listening to your customers and doing the things that's the best practice to make them just move towards you, to go, I need this thing. I now know that if I want to go to there, I need this thing. And it's really powerful. And it's also powerful about, think about how you want to be marketed to. Some people like being sold to. Some people don't like being sold to. And how does that make you feel? And then look at your marketing and see, or even just in your sales process, if you haven't got a mature marketing funnel.
But I think that's the point, Ian, isn't it? People not being sold to.
Yeah.
People like being sold to. Actually, we all like to buy stuff.
Yes.
But it's finding that point at which you want to buy stuff, whether it be a sofa, a new house, a new car.
Yeah.
Doesn't take you much to buy a new car. And
stop it.
Or some services to help your business grow faster, whether they're marketing services, coaching services, PSA services, doesn't matter what it is. There's something that needs to be right time, right place. And that's the thing that we've honed over the years of working together, is to understand that emotional driver behind what an ambitious MSP is seeking to achieve. And that's what we're translating into helping our clients understand, is what is it that they do beyond the tech that emotionally resonates with their buyers, whether they're lawyers, accountants, manufacturers, dentists. Because whilst they're similar, you've got to find that nuanced hook, but therefore you have to be talking to the right audience as well. And that goes back to your point about building the right audience.
And also I think that the thing that on reflection in preparation for today was, not every one of your prospects is going to be at the same part of your sales funnel as the other. They don't all come in at the top. They don't all not know you. They don't all go from cold to sold. There'll be probably, 250 levels of funnel that they'll have within it, and some of them will know you, and some of them will be referred to you, and some of them would have seen you on Google, and some people might not know. And it's creating that content. And we always say in any of the masterclasses that we do, it's that middle of funnel that's missing. And first of all, understanding where that prospect is in the journey is stage one, because if they already know you, you don't need to start talking to them about and introducing who you are. Let's just get to the point about what challenge have you got? What do you need me to overcome? Have you had a security risk? Are you running inefficient old business? Has this happened? Has that happened? And it's understanding. We were talking yesterday on one of the calls about how can you connect, and we mapped out, it was really interesting, mapped out a conversation starter to go from, hey, have you heard about Microsoft Copilot, to you need managed services. But it's a journey. You can't just say, hey, you want Microsoft Copilot? Great, that's $49.99 a month and you need this package and it gives you all of this as well, because you haven't even told them why they need it. So it's understanding and threading those journeys and those stories through. And it doesn't need to be super complicated. It just needs to be logical and go back to the bit, how do you want to be marketed to? How would you want to buy your services? And I think that's a good bit of reflection to look in the mirror on that piece.
Indeed.
Good. Last one we wanted to talk about was future vision and Arrive, the clarity around Arrive and what that looks like for people. We talk in the MSP journey about exit. We talk in the MSP journey about every business is going to get sold at some point or another. Whether you like it, whether you plan it, whether you want it to happen, and whether it's going to be at the money that you want are all the variables in the world.
And on that point, Ian, I think that's the milestone that we're talking about today. I think there was a milestone that is everybody knows, but everybody doesn't know, which is one day, if you're a business owner, one day your business will be sold. And I don't think business owners connect with that concept sufficiently because it's tomorrow. It's in the future.
Another day.
But one day it will be sold. And if you spent 30 years working in it and it's now at that point where, do you know what? I think I might need to get out in the next decade or sooner. suddenly it's a scramble to make it have value, that possibly you could get that value back in terms of an exit. Because I suppose leaving cash on the table in your career is like building something that doesn't have value. Yes, it's cash flowed you over the years and you've maybe had a good life from it, but at the end of the day, there's perhaps this disappointment that actually what I've built isn't actually of any value for me to pass it on. So I think the milestone in our journey with this is bringing into stark spotlight that actually your business is going to be sold. And so to maximize value, there's a number of things that have to be in place for that value to be realizable. Even if you don't think, I never want to sell my business, or I want my employees to take it on, or I want my children to take it on, or I want to sell it and just give all the money to charity. Great. So how can you maximize that value for charity when the time comes? And realizing that you have to build a business that's saleable today so that it can be sold one day in the future for maximum value. That's been quite a milestone piece for us as we've been putting all the systems together, making that arrive goal clear.
And also going back to our original vision on what we wanted to do, because we wanted to create some supported living, school, whatever it might be for autistic people, and we knew that we got a skill set where we could help more people, not only just in the MSP space, but like outside of that, because we've both been touched by special needs and everything like that. And how do we help those people? And I got a kick up the bum from you at the beginning of this year where it was like, hang on a minute, where's your vision going? Where's this going? And it was like, oh, crikey. And now 6 months later, we're in an incredible place where moving towards this even steeper hill that I thought it was around creating this incredible supported living group of homes, or whatever it might end up being, something amazing, I'm sure, is very much there. And that's that North Star that you just go, this is why we're doing this, is what we're looking for. And that's why that time is so important, because we hear people say they could be in their 40s and they're going, do you know what, I only want to do this for 10 years and then I want to choose what I want to do. We hear people in their 50s going, eek, I can see the retirement thing at the end of it, and I don't want to be doing it, but I know the business isn't really worth that much money. And it's are you a value building business, or is it still just a lifestyle business that's just kind of clocking along? And that's now, I guess, the thing about this milestone is now's the time to be deliberate. If that's what you want, you might just want to walk away from it and go and give your clients to somebody else. That's absolutely fine. But when you look at the model and the opportunity that you've got and cash on the table, which there could be a lot that could help you do lots of different things, it's a great place to be.
And that's part of the legacy piece, because again, I was talking to somebody yesterday, a 36 something or other aged MSP, a young one, but again, really crystal clear vision of the next 10 years, because there's so many things, really quite enlightened chap, that he wants to do with his life. And he's been helping his family. He's been 20 years since growing up. He's done a lot, but there is so much more that he wants to do, because he's very clear about what he wants to do and how this business can enable him. And so therefore the conversation we were having was really deliberate about, how do I scale this to be a thing of real value, so it can do this and this for me and my family and the people I want to help going forward in the future. And so it reminds us that the business is an asset, it's an enabler, it gives us time, it gives us money, so that we can go and add more value in whatever it is we want to do.
Yeah. And so that's the end of the show now. So 250 in, that's like pretty cool.
Wow. Here's to the 500th.
Yeah, here's to the 500th. What should we do then? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? We'll be sitting on a beach somewhere.
Oh, I don't know about that.
The bloody walking stick.
Bloody arthritis.
You speak for you speak for yourself, Warwick. I'm not going down that old route. Thank you very much. But anyway, Stuart, it's been amazing for all of these shows that we had. I know that you weren't around at the beginning. You are now. And adding the value. And I must say that I think the listener numbers have gone up since you joined, which is all right, pisser. But anyway, I thoroughly enjoy having
the value is here.
The value is here, whether you like it or not.
Warwick's in the room.
Warwick's in the room. What do the clients call you? They call me the fun uncle, and they call you the serious dad, don't they?
Yeah,
Which is all good stuff. Anyway, that's it from us today. We love putting this together. I just want to say thank you very much for all of your comments, support, suggestions that we get about the podcast, and that we really appreciate it. We love doing what we do, as you can tell.
We do.
And we love helping more MSP. If you're in a spot and you need to have a chat, then just reach out to us and we'll see what we can do to help you.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, everybody.
Take care and see you on the next one.
See you.
Oh, but one last thing, just before you shoot off. And if you're curious about how this episode links with the ability to scale your MSP to $1 million, or if you're already there, accelerate to 5, then we want to invite you to come and take the MSP Mastery Quiz. And in just 3 minutes, you're going to get a 360-degree scan of your business where you can identify the 1 or 2 tactics that can help you find more time, engage and align your people, and help generate more leads in your MSP. It's really simple. Just click on the link in the show notes. And if you have enjoyed this episode, we'd love to get some feedback from you by means of a rating and review on Spotify or iTunes or your podcast platform of choice. We really appreciate every single one of them. Now you can go and enjoy the rest of your day, and we look forward to catching up and connecting with you soon. All the best now.